the imperfect environmentalist. Hi, welcome to my crib. This is where So in August, the IPCC released a report that basically stated that us as a human race have passed the threshold for not passing 2 degrees Celsius, which is a temperature that scientists have calculated to sustain human life and life as we know it, basically. Environmentalism and climate change are such big topics that I could honestly talk for hours about it, but I'm just gonna make a short video and talk about a little bit what the report says and how we as individuals can help combat the increasing effects of climate change. One of the lines in the IPCC stated that the changes already set in motion, such as increased sea level rise, are irreversible over hundreds to thousands of years. But they do give a solution, basically saying that strong and sustainable reductions in emissions in carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases would limit the effects of climate change. So it wouldn't completely get rid of climate change or its effects, but it would help to decrease them. They also shared that we're going to start seeing these effects in the next 20 to 30 years. Those effects would look like heat waves, larger warm seasons, and shorter cold seasons. If the world was to be at 2 degrees Celsius of global warming, heat extremes would be more often and reach critical tolerance thresholds for agricultural and health, which basically means that we would have to check what the air quality levels were before leaving the house and wear a mask. And if we've learned anything from 2020, 2021, people don't really like to wear masks. These are only some of the implications.
A climate catastrophe. The wildfires burning in Russia now are bigger than all the fires raging across the globe combined. Bigger than those in the US, Canada, Turkey and Greece put together.
Climate change is already intensifying the water cycle. It brings more intense rainfall, more flooding, and more droughts in other regions. They also shared that coastal regions will continue to see sea level rise and coastal erosion, which, to put a face on that, is Skagway, Hawaii, all of Alaska, Washington, Oregon, California, the East Coast, Florida, all of these places that are touching the water. And in addition, further warming will amplify permafrost thawing, the loss of seasonal snow cover, melting of glaciers and ice sheets. The ocean will also experience changes such as warming, more acidification, basically meaning it'll be more salty, and reduced oxygen levels in the ocean. These changes not only affect ocean ecosystems, but also the people that rely on them. A report that the New York Times did about the IPCC report that was released recently stated that even if nations started sharply cutting emissions today, total global warming is likely to rise around 1.5 degrees Celsius within the next 2 decades, so the next 20 years. A hotter future that is now essentially locked in. So basically this last report more specifically outlined what we're going to be seeing in the next 20 to 30 years. So that's some really daunting information because this is the world that we're going to be living in the next 20 to 30 years. And so talking about this just seems very daunting, but there are ways that we can help as individuals. Although drastic measures need to be taken as a society, we can all make small changes that as a whole will make a difference. Living in a small town makes it really hard to recycle or compost, but there are other ways that we can give back to the land and combat the effects of climate change. More specifically in this video, I want to talk about plastic, because plastic, once it's created, is never really destroyed. There's plastic particles that are on basically everything in us, in fish, in food, in the ocean. One of the things that impacts climate change is consumerism. That's fast fashion, beef, all of these things that are being created are putting carbon into the atmosphere. So here are some quick facts about plastic in the ocean and marine life. Annually, humans use 500 billion plastic bottles, which calculates to be 66 times as many bottles as there are humans on the planet. More than 90% of all seabirds are found to have plastic pieces in their stomachs. 100 million marine animals die each year from plastic waste alone. So some ways to decrease these numbers and help with countering climate change are to use reusable bags instead of Ziplocs. They sell them on Amazon. There's many different kinds. I think there's some made of silicone and other things. You can also use containers. You can bring your own reusable grocery bag instead of using plastic ones at the store. Bring silverware with you instead of using plastic silverware when you go out to eat. Buy a wooden or bamboo toothbrush instead of using plastic ones. Buy a water bottle, bring it, use it, don't use plastic ones. Spread awareness and hold corporations accountable, and talk to your senators to get legislative action going. You can also participate in beach cleanups or pick up trash that you see on the ground anywhere that you are. And then another is recycling. So those are some things you can incorporate into your life in order to make it more sustainable and help decrease the effects of climate change. I hope that you enjoyed this video. This was more of a solemn and serious one, but please comment down below ways to help decrease the effects of climate change so we can all share each other's tips. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time.